Hello everybody and welcome to round 2 of the SLR T1 League. I am your commentator today, Nene057, as usual, and today we've got a fascinating race where we've got 13 drivers on the grid, all capable of producing something a little bit special, as we can see at the top of the order, and I'm looking forward to it just as much as you guys are. And I'm currently on board with GMCK, currently on provisional pole, so it shows that he's done some practice this week. And he's just improved to a 29.4. Oh no, that's Zert who's gone to a 29.4. Just ahead of JMCK with a 29.6, so 2 tenths within them, which is really nice to see. We've got a lot of people yet to set times. I'm going to get the tyre compounds up. Legend's gone for the mediums, and I think ASY is going to go for the mediums. He said he can just about get in the 29s with the mediums, so that could be very interesting. We've got a few people wanting to join the league, which is interesting, but I'll have to message them after this session rather than now, because obviously I've got a commentary to do, and I've got to put that first. But on board with the Dutch Hunter, who's not on a lap at all. Don't think anyone really is. McRider's on 5 Apollo soft tyres, which tends to mean he's doing a few laps to get used to the track, rather than to put a fast lap in his Williams. We've got F1 MD Sorello, who's new to the league. We've got a lot of Italian dialect in the chats. Well, I can't exactly read it because I'm not Italian. I don't speak the language. And Sorello's on the medium tyre. We'll see what he can achieve. A bit of a lock up into turn 4, I believe. I think it's turn 4. Looks a bit tentative. Second gear, I don't remember ever using that gear for that corner, but there we go. I can only see what I judge at the moment, but in the Alpha Tauri, you've got quite a nice helmet as well. Your short shift just keep to the apex of the corner there. And this long right-hander along this, what was the longest straight in Formula 1, no longer is because of Baku. And it will trundle along at just the 205 miles an hour down this straight. A little bit into 206 as well. Misses the apex of the hairpin, so he's not had a great lap as Sorello. But we'll see where it puts him as he comes across the line now. And it puts him P6 ahead of McRider, just behind unlucky Tesco's. McRider is just doing like a race run in qualifying. I'm assuming he's coming to the pits now. I know he's carrying on. Maybe he's writing off this qualifying session, just getting some laps under his belt. Got Milix out there on the mediums as well, so people are going for a bit of a split strategy. There's going to be some soft runners then and some medium times here. Waiting to see what Connor can do and ASY, and also last week's race winner, which you won't know about, is Klexi, the surprise race winner, to be honest. He showed good pace in the pre-season race, but didn't look like he was going to win it. But he won the opening round. Unfortunately, we didn't actually have enough drivers for me to commentate, so I had the night off a little bit. Well, I had T1 off. So, but we're back, and hopefully we can have a good round here tonight. All I'm watching is Williams. Dutch Hunter starting his lap. We'll see what he can achieve. He's currently P3. He's had a good start to the season, and starting strong here. Had a decent pre-season race, from what I remember. He's improving by half a tenth, but this middle sector he can gain a lot of time. This is the where you need the downforce. So we'll see who's got the straight line speed setups or the downforce setups. Okay, it looks very nice. He's keeping it nice and together. It's really nice and flowing. He's going third gear in this corner, just feathering the throttle. If you run wide there, you can get your lap time invalidated. He didn't manage to do that here. Misses the apex slightly, but carries on, and it's really compromised him. And now we're playing a waiting game. We're waiting for that 100-meter board all the way down the straight, basically where the curb starts. There it is. Trying to get it slowed down, get it turned in. It hits the apex of the corner quite nice. And we'll see what this Alfa Romeo can do. Can he go just a little bit quicker? The Dutch Hunter round the final corner, comes across the line, and is a 10th up on his time, but he doesn't move up any positions, and he will remain P3. I'm presuming he's got one more lap in him, unless he's going to give it up on that one. 3/10 off of pole, which is on line of Zert at the moment, looking for his first ever T1 pole. We've got Pesco on a lap, currently down in P5, and behind him is Legend on an outlap. Minute is going to be there or thereabouts with his McLaren teammate. Very good, solid McLaren team for this season. The Dutchland has given up the ghost, so we'll see what everyone else can achieve. The Pirate has gone on softs and everyone else is on mediums, except for the front three, which is quite daunting. Kesco goes P4 there ahead of his teammate, improved by 6 tenths, well 8 tenths, so it was a good lap. Sorello's coming into the pit lane, so he's giving it up. We'll see if there's anyone else out there on a lap. Legend has just started his lap, and so is Millix, who's invalidated his lap. And that seems to be a common trait with Millix. But we're going to have a look at Legend, as he's a 10th and a half up. He'd be looking to get around his teammate, probably just ahead of it. I'm pretty sure ASY can get close to the 29s on these mediums, so that's what he'd be hoping to aim for. The Season 7 Tier 2 winner. And because he won that, he's now in Tier 1. And a beautiful McLaren, as he's a 10th and a half up still. So he's not finding the gains his teammate managed to do. I don't know if he's managed to make any mistakes, but he's not quite hitting the form of Kesco at the moment. But heading down the straight, we'll see if he backed off a little bit in the last sector or not. And he comes around now, this hairpin, will he get it nice and tight? Yeah, hits the apex nicely. Swings the car out to the exit, puts the power down nice and early as he comes around the final corner now. Hits the apex, does he run wide? He doesn't, and he's going to come across the line, and it's going to be a 30.7, 3 tenths down on his teammate. So he's definitely struggling slightly. Yeah, we're going to go on board with a Renault Klexi, who's unable to put a lap together so far on the medium tyres. I think they've only got one set of mediums, that's why they've been waiting. And he's the next one to come round, and we'll see where he can put his car. At the moment he's dead last in P13, but expect that to change in these last moments of qualifying. It's going to be a very exciting last moments of qualifying with all these medium runners out there. The Pirate is not going to set up lap, he's come back in the pit lane. I don't think he ever went out actually. But here comes Klexi around the final corner, and he's going to do a 30.4 just ahead of Celso into at P4, and oh, look how close that is, as Dusty just sits in behind. We've got McRider improving on his lap, he goes P7, a 0.5, and who's next across line? We've got Ferrari of GMCK, who's unable to take that provisional pole away from a line of Zert. Millix Jr. goes P9, and the last couple of people to come across the line, we have ASY. Will he be able to get in the 29s? No, he's only P8. So he really did struggle. And here comes Connor across the line. I think that was a 0.6. P9 for Connor. Only P9 for Connor. And that was interesting. So we've got two different grids really. If you look at it, I mean, we've got the soft runners who are miles ahead of anybody else because they're on soft tyres. Which Zert GMCK and Dutch Hunter, two and a half tenths between them, and then you've got Clexy, Salso, we've got Dusty, McRider, ASY, Connor, and then just in behind is Legend, Millix, and Sorello, and Pirate unable to set a time, but very, very close. A tenth separating like 4th all the way down to like 8th there. 8th or 9th, yeah, 8th. So, very, very close. It'd be very interesting to see what happens in the race. But which strategy will be best? I mean, the soft tyres will wear out earlier, but the hards will offer... Oh, it's very dark. Does that suggest a sprinkling of rain on the horizon? I don't know. Maybe someone could tell us. But it'd be nice to have a weather forecast on these AWS systems that we keep getting, with the predicted pit stop strategy, which will be a load of bollocks as usual. But yeah, the one stop is the way to go. I don't think anyone's going to go 2-stop today. Safety cars are a possibility, but we've only got 13 drivers, so I'm not expecting. There we go, we've got the one stop, the soft, the hard, so we're expecting like lap 6, lap 7. The medium one we don't know because it's given us a 2-stop. We'll double check the pit strategies. Everyone except the top 3 have gone mediums. I can't help but think the top 3 are at a disadvantage, but Lionel Zert has got his first pole position in SLR Tier 1, so he'll be happy with that. GMCK in P2 very close to showing a bit of form that he had previous. It was very close, about half a tenth off, but we can't but think they've bottled it slightly. Especially if this rain comes down, that would be the hope for the soft runners, that this rain holds off until about lap 15, 16, 17, around there, because the mediums will be dying by that point. But it does look like it's going to rain. But the favourite is Clexy, who's managed to get ahead of everybody on the medium tyres, starting P4. So he'll be very happy with how this has played out for him. With Kesko just in behind, and then Dusty in P6. And then McRider, ASY, and Connor. Connor will be the person who's the most P'd, I think, where he's starting. P9 is not exactly the best position. Legend P10, and then obviously Millix, Sorello, and the Pirate. As we're readying up for what should be a very unpredictable Chinese Grand Prix. I can't tell you where it's going to go, but from on paper it looks like the super soft guys are going to, well, the soft tyre guys are going to struggle a little bit to maintain that position. Initially they'll be quicker, and yeah, but after that it's going to be a bit of a struggle as we're waiting for everybody to line up. It should be an exciting 28 laps ahead of us here today. Apparently we're on lap 2, which is not true at all. So we're waiting for the lights to start, and we hear the buzz as we've got 5 buzzers. Well, we've got 4 buzzers, and then they're out, and away we go. And Zert has got a very good start away from the line, and it looks like he's going to maintain position, unlike the Dutch Hunter who's getting gobbled up by the pack into turn 1, this long sweeping turn 1, which curls in there. And Clexy has got a decent start. Dusty has had an absolute stonker of a start. He's going side by side with Clexy, but Clexy maintains position, and he is now up into P3 with the Dutch Hunter down in P6. We've got Millix fighting away. There's a brake marker board being smashed. There's a bit of contact between a McLaren, and I think that would have been unlucky. So lost his braking point into what is turn 4 there, so I think he's got some front wing damage. We've got Millix going side by side with Connor. Connor round the outside of Millix, which will turn to the inside. I'm trying to get some decent view of this, and Millix is still holding it around the outside, but Connor's got the grip and Millix is offline, so that's going to make him struggle a little bit. But is he gonna try it around the outside a little bit? No, but Connor squeezes the gap off, and he's still maintained into P9. The person with the worst start is definitely Dutch Hunter, is down into P7 already. ASY into P6 with McRider P5. Dusty looked like he got the best start, but seems to have dropped Clexy, who's hanging on now with JMCK and online Ozert, and that'll be his game plan, just to hang on to these front two at the moment. He knows he's got the pace, he just needs to wait for his opportunity. But as we head on to lap 1, no one's had any massive incidents, and we're heading down the main straight into turn 1. And no one, they're just jockeying at the moment, no one going for anything so far. The closest person on track is Millix with Connor, with a wheel-to-wheel battle on the first lap. As our timing screens are starting to mess up again, but they'll work themselves back out again. And yeah, a really nice start. A few battles. But as you can see, the super soft runners are starting to get away, especially online as Zerta wants to get outside of that DRS range. And I'm looking behind Clex at the moment. He's got Dusty and McRider there. You see the dirty air effect in effect. And the puff of smoke effect from Clex's front tyres there. But it looks like Dusty's going to come under pressure from McRider for P4, as DRS is now available, and I think Dusty's got a DRS failure or something, because it's not. There isn't DRS available apparently. McRider tries it around the outside, but he's going to get the better exit, but he's unable to put enough pressure on to make a move at this point in the race. But here he goes again, unless I've just got a DRS glitch. Oh, that was a late move by Dusty, and McRider nearly went into the rear. ASY is struggling somewhat behind. Yeah, he's coming under pressure to the Dutch Hunter and Legend. But Dusty's already lost a gap to Clex at this point, just over a second. And the two soft runners aren't getting away as much as I thought they might, which is proving the medium strategy probably is the better strategy, even on pace. On liners that's nearly out of that DRS range, you can see the dirty air that McRider's getting here. You have to go down a gear just to get turned in. Obviously China being known for being a pad track. McRider's on the pad, which could be an interesting development. Currently on board with the Williams drivers in P5 and P6 at the moment. They'll be hoping they can make some inroads into the top 5 though. Something has gone down my back. Don't know what it is. There's a moth. Get out. Sorry about that. And yeah, no move so far. It looks a bit of a stalemate down that straight. But JMCK is coming onto some real pressure now with Clexy down the straight. They've both got DRS. JMCK goes defensive to the inside, which will compromise him a little bit. Clexy to the outside, but backs out of it. He's showing some really good pace. And still in P3. Dusty is struggling a little bit. I haven't seen many penalties come on yet, which means everyone's being good boys, and pace can define the field rather than the penalty system. So now we're on the little straight before the back straight. Couple of winding corners before we head down it, and Jimsky just within that DRS range, just. But look at Clexy with that exit. That's a unbelievable exit, and GMCK is just sitting duck even with DRS. Look at that straight line speed. He's got absolutely no chance. But he's got to get stopped now, and that's allowing Dusty to catch up. I think the soft runners are starting to struggle a little bit. I'm surprised to see them in the next couple of laps. Lap 6, lap 7, that was the prediction. As the Dutch Hunter is going in the pits to get rid of them already. So he's decided they aren't the right tyres. Celso did get front wing damage, and that's why he's dead last by a bit. As we've got a bit of a ding dong, as Legend and Connor are having a bit of a battle with Milix trying to get involved, as Connor can't get on the power on the exit. Struggling a little bit. But it gets away with it. We've got F1 MD Sorello just in behind as well. Hanging on to the curtails of these guys. They're having a bit of a different battle to the front four, let's say. As the Klex is trying to challenge for the lead now on Zert. And it looks like he's going to do it, trying to get that slingshot out of that last corner. And online Zert should be a sitting duck on the straight. And it looks like he is. And it looks like he's got the move done even before we get to the back. Look at the straight line speed on that thing. It's like a rat with its arse on fire down that straight. And Dusty can't even get past GMCK. I wonder if they're on pits. GMCK pits. And I think that put off Dusty slightly because he's run wide in that last corner. But it's not going to affect anybody. As that promotes the Pirate into the points. And he should come out ahead of the Dutch Hunter. We had some moves there. I think we're still looking at Legend, Connor, Milix and Sorello. Don't know if the Pirate's got a bit of damage. Or it's like a practice. Well, these guys are the closest on track, and we've also got ASY, McRider, Dusty and Zert all in their own little battle. Zert is really holding them up now, and I wonder if GMCK can do an undercut on Zert. And he'll be hoping them 5 or 6 laps can make the difference between this rain period that might be coming. I mean, I say it might be coming, it looks likely. It's not getting any lighter, but here goes Dusty on Zert. He's not using the overtake, but he doesn't really need it, and he's going to work his way up into P2 and going to be in pursuit of Klexi, who is 1.5 seconds in the lead at the moment. But he won't want to be resting on his laurels as Zert comes diving into the pit lane, hitting the apex quite nicely. Obviously no gravel on the outside of that pit lane anymore, so it's not quite the dangerous force it used to be. And you can see the different lines they all take into turn 1. Milix goes more to the inside compared to Legend and Connor, who's got past Legend by the way. I missed that somewhere under the last DRS. So Connor's deciding now is his time to make his move. He was up into P5 on track. As now the field is shaken out, and the Dutch Hunter online have both gone the hard route, and GMCK has gone the soft route. He has indeed done the undercut though, so he's got a bit of space to push into to try and make that work. But that means his position is pretty legitimate. As on board of ASY is not really closing in on anybody. But he has that DRS, has gone a little bit late on the brakes. if it gets it turned in. As long as you're not on that outside curb, you're alright. Because then you're obviously losing traction on it. I mean, what we're thinking, what lap do we think we're going to get rain? It looks like it's going to happen, but do we have any predictions of when we're going to get it? Because it's holding off for the moment, and that'll help like the likes of Zert and Dutch Hunter, who started on them medium tyres, the soft tyres. The longer it holds out, the better for them, because we've got to wait for these medium people to pit. Dusty's 2 seconds now behind Clexy, he's just falling back a little bit. And that's probably due to just DRS, but Ryder's been able to keep within the DRS of Dusty, with SY just holding on to the back of this. Oh, McRider nearly went into the wall there. Good save in the end. That promotes Connor up to P4. That little mistake has cost him there. He got on the outside curb, it looked like. And now he's falling like a stone. Oh, McRider's round. Legend doesn't know where he is. But if I was your Legend, I'd take the penalty and just move on and keep going. Because otherwise you're going to lose lots of positions otherwise. And Sorello is going to try it into the hairpin. Does he hit Millix? Not quite. And he has to back out of it. But that's Millix up into P5. And McRider's down now into P8. I don't know if he's got front wing damage or is he just struggling with tyre temperature, getting him back. But is it me? Is it brightening up a little bit? So maybe that rain is going away because there's a bit of light on track now. But yeah, that wouldn't have done his tyres any good. As the Pirate is now ahead of him. And he's now 6 seconds away. He's lost a lot of time. And that's allowed his teammate just he's fell outside the DRS of Dusty, but he's in that battle. It's a battle of consistency at the moment. I mean, I'll double check the penalty situation. I mean, look at it. Millix has got 2 penalties. Of all people, it probably would have been Millix. Sorello's got 1. Pirate's got 1. Ryder had nothing. The Dutchman's is only 1.8 behind on liners. GMCK is catching Celso very quick. He's still got that damage front wing though, and we've got a battle for P6 between Legend and Sorello, and I think Sorello's going to get the position. I think Legend might have front wing damage. He's coming in the pit lane. It doesn't show, but he's struggling with something. And now he's going to get that front wing changed, I think. We'll double check. No, he's just getting rid of the tyres. It just did look like he was struggling a little bit. He's going for the undercut though. See if that works out for him. Got incident sector 1. That's just him coming out the pit lane. And it's starting to get a bit of a field spread now. Got a battle for P5 with Sorello and Millix. As GMCK has overtaken Tesco's. Tesco. Oh dear. And unlucky Tesco. He's trying to get some heat in his tyres there, GMCK, just weaving about a little bit. You see in the braking zone, might have been a little bit cold. Or not. Because he nearly lost it. It's turning into a bit of a fascinating race because we don't know what strategy is the best. We've got GMCK going for a 2-stop. Online, with the one with the mediums. GMCK, Dutch Hunters are on the mediums, and Legends gone with the mediums. But here we go into turn 1. Sorello has got the position on Millix for P5. And very nice move from the Italian. And puts him in the top 5 on his debut, so he'll be very happy with this so far. Legend's gone, interestingly, he's 4 seconds behind Dutch Hunter. Obviously 5 lap better tyres, but you see that undercut and how effective it is. I'll be interested in where he comes out in terms of where Connor is and people like that. That's where he'll be looking. Connor, ASY. I mean, the Dutch online as it's not lost a lot of time to GMCK, but that second stint will show a little bit more pace compared to Warren Hards. And we're only on lap 11, so there's a long way to go. Millix is the only one within DRS except for online. Ozerta's going to overtake Sesko soon. Probably on this straight, in fact. Well, what a camera angle that is. Doesn't look like it's close enough. So we've got some action in the pit lane. We have Millix, ASY and Dusty all in the pit lane. Dusty doesn't get held. ASY doesn't get held. GMCK goes past all of them, obviously, and up into P5. Dusty not that far behind though, near 3 seconds. McRider goes behind Legend. McRider's still in the pit lane, no, there isn't. And Legend has come out side by side with Millix. And he's unable to make the move so far, so he got cold tyres. And currently still P11. ASY's come out behind online Ozert, which is interesting because that's for position now, with all this filtering out. 4 lap younger tyres, but online Ozert's managed to get ahead of these guys, which you'll be happy about. This is good markers for Connor and Clexy as well. Obviously these guys won't really know what's going on. I'd say Clexy will come out just behind GMCK and he pits. Connor carries on, realising the longer you go probably the better it will come at the end of the race. Sorello pits as well. Gets his tyres changed, no hold-ups. Where's GMCK? Coming down the straight. And it's going to be very close, and it looks like he's just about going to get ahead, or has GMCK got the momentum in side by side? And it doesn't look like he's going to get it, or is he going to get on exit with them hotter tyres? No, Clexy gets ahead, and that's pretty crucial for his race. So the only person ahead of him now is Connor. Despite a little bit of the undercut, Dusty is unable to make it work. GMCK's gone on 5-6 laps on these tyres, so he have to overtake him as well. ASY is unable to get online of Zert so far. But it shows how crucial qualifying was for him to get ahead. Oh, dear me. Millix and Legend are also going at it. I think Legend's got ahead of Millix. So these guys will be fighting for that last point. ASY and online of Zert are going side by side. Looks like Zert's got a better exit. into the last corner. This could be dangerous. Oh, still going side by side on the straight. Zert's got the DRS. Connor's in the pit lane, and look at them go side by side into turn 1, and Zert gets the position back, and that's him back up into P4. And great battling from these two. Looks very fun out there, with Connor coming in just in behind, and he'll be rejoining this battle in a moment. But ASY would be very frustrated they didn't get that one done. Just stuck behind this Haas. Online as a we've got GMCK just ahead of the racing point of Dusty, and he's losing time to Klexi, who's getting away now, it seems, and this one could be already in the bag for him. And basically pushing online Ozert around now. And I wonder what will happen on this straight. And it looks like ASY is going to get the move. This time round, he gives him the inside line. Pulls out and gets the position. Zert sticks his nose in. And that compromises Connor a lot. To the point where he's going to be making the move down the inside, and Zert's lost 2 positions in what, a space of 2 corners, and that was a fairly costly mistake there from Zert. Just got on the power a little bit too early. He didn't need to, and they're the sort of things that can make or break your race. And I'm not saying he's going to come under pressure from Dutch Hunter, because he's been there all race for a bit. Sorello will be next. But he falls down into P6. Got an incident in Sector 1. Oh, Milix is round. He'd have been battling with Legend, I think. That promotes from Ryder back into the top 10. I mean, Sesko's had a horrible race. I don't know why I didn't pit a little bit earlier, just to get rid of them. Oh, there we go. But we've still got all our drivers here. We haven't had any retirements, so it looks like we're gonna have at least 10 finishes today. On board with Sorello is putting a bit of pressure onto the Dutch Hunter for P7. This is Sector 2, the Pirate is out. We'll get a watching brief. There he is. I think he got caught on the curb. Safety car deployed. And who does that help? GMCK, who is on them old medium tyres. And you know what he can do? He can go and bang on another set of mediums. As Dusty is in the pit lane as well. ASY carries on. Dusty's spotted an opportunity. Klexi were already past the pit lane, I believe. Look at them all coming out of the pit lane. But GMCK is the one who's the biggest advantage. Here, he's going to go on that medium tyre. And that's going to help him on Lino's as well. He's going to enjoy these new medium tyres. And the person who's... oh, the 2 Williams have both stayed out. Interesting. McRider going for position. Yeah, the commentator's curse has happened. And we have got a retirement. It helps also Sesko and Milix, who just had a bit of a spin. McRider has stayed out, as well as the race leader. I'm quite surprised that he's going to go for that, because these guys are now fresh mediums and can go for it. I mean, it reminds me, it's like qualifying, but opposite, really. Here we are with 12 laps to go of this race. Everyone but the top 3 are on the mediums, or starting on the mediums, and the top 3 are obviously before was on softs, but they're on hards now. It's going to be very interesting. I wonder if any of these 3 will decide that actually they've made the wrong move here. I wonder. I mean, who will win this race? I don't know. But I fancy one of the medium runs. Dusty looks very capable with their medium tyres, especially initially. there's a few. I mean, the two McLarens had very good qualifying and then haven't really done anything in race. We don't know where this race is going to go next, but we've got another lap of the safety car, that's all I do know. But the person shitting his pants will be the leader, I think. He needs to get away from ASY and McRider and build that gap again. Fancy Dusty. Oh, as he's trying to overtake under the safety car. I think he did a little bit. He's going very slow into turn 1. Sorello and the Dutch Hunter have had a bit of an incident. And then Sesko is the last one to catch up, and then I think after this lap we're going to get going again with 11 laps to go. And this is going to be a very interesting finish to this race. There's going to be lots of action, that's for sure. Everyone's saving their ERSs up, and we'll see how they use it. But James CK and Dusty are in very, very good positions to make these work. James CK wasted his other mediums early on, so that's why he's falling back from Kelsey for so much. Clexy. But the safety car's in this lap, and we will get back to racing, and I don't know, I fancy Dusty with this one. I'll double check the penalty situation before. We've also got 3 Italians on the podium at the moment. SY is nearly picking up a penalty. McRider has 1. James K has 2 warnings. Line of Zert has 1. Dutch Hunter has 1. Sorello's got a 5-second penalty with severe collision with Legend, which will probably get wiped out if it gets reported to the stewards. But this is going to be, we've got 12 cars on the grid with 11 laps to go. Who's going to win? It's anybody's guess really, as ASY is already trying to make a move on. Oh, there's been a bit of a tap there. GMCK and Dusty. ASY wants to get on with it, he wants the lead. And we are going to go racing again. China, and oh, JMCK's out on the exit. Oh, he's bottled it. The exit of the return of the safety car, he's absolutely binned it. Wow, wow, wow. We've still got the yellow flags out in sector 3. I'm just waiting. He's done what Giovinazzi did a few years ago. He's absolutely binned it. He's on cold tyres. Went to put the foot down and absolutely failed. As there's some action further back, there's the 2 McLarens on the move. Legend has started really, really quick. He's now up into P7 ahead of the Dutch Hunter, and he's now going after Online Zert. Kesko has also made a move and he's in the top 10 ahead of Sorello, who's had a poor start. But the top 4 are all together. I'm really surprised we didn't get a VSC or something for GMCK. Might have been a bit quick, but it does surprise me slightly. No DRS initially. That's going to allow Clexy to get away a little bit. But Dusty doesn't want to waste his opportunity on these mediums for these last few laps. He's getting very close to McRider, who's gone wide in the final corner. No! And he's trying to make the move into turn 1 already. He's got a rocket behind him. He just got to the corner so much better than McRider did in that last corner. But Legend looking at Online as well. He's sniffing an opportunity as he loses the back end slightly. But nothing there to punish him. And he looks very, very quick as Connor is looking for a move on McRider as the hard runners are starting to struggle. Well, McRider of all of them is struggling the most. As Dusty's already passed him, and now he's going to be looking at ASY as his next target. Legend is looking as well, and I'm quite surprised Connor hasn't gone for an opportunity somewhere as he loses the back end. He's struggling with his rears, and online is going to try and make a move on Connor. Has he got DRS on this lap? No, he hasn't. It's next lap as online is looking for the move on Connor, squeezing him to the inside of the track, and then goes to the outside. Round the outside goes online of Legend's having a look as well. There's contact between the two, small, but it's makes all the difference. And Connor maintains position. He's done really well there to defend, and online is now coming under threat from a former championship rival Legend. But he's going to go to the inside, his Legend. Look at that. He just had so much more grip, carried far more speed. And it looks like Connor and McRider are going side by side as well. And McRider maintains position so far. And Onlino's been tapped by the Dutch Hunter, I think. But he's leaving him to maintain position, which is fair enough. We'll make mistakes. As Connor is taking a much wider line with that understeer. As the Dutch Hunter's round. And he's down to dead last, and he's left the session. So we are down to 10. For the remainder of this race. Which will help Sorello out no end for keeping that point. But here comes Dusty on ASY for what is P2. Looks like Dusty's going to get the position. And he is up into second place. And now all it stands with him, between him and the win, was Klexi, who's run a fantastic race. So he just made one mistake. He didn't pit under the safety car like everyone else does, and the pace difference is showing. As Legend has got a penalty, and we've got a bit of a move here as Connor goes around the outside of McRider. McRider's understeered into him. I mean, it's his own fault. He had the room. He just locked up. Carried too much speed. He didn't have the grip. But that gives Connor P4. And now he's after ASY, and his podium looks unlikely because he's going to fall through the pack very quickly indeed. If this carries on, especially with this DRS. Dusty's not pulling away like he probably would like to. He's wanting to get in Klexi's DRS. He hasn't been in that for a very long time. It looks like he's finally going to do that. On this lap, he's got the grip at his disposal to make something happen. And we're looking at Kesko and Onlino's with a bit of DRS. Will Kesko be able to get a bit closer? Because Onlino's hasn't got it. And nobody made a move. And also Milix has had his trials and tribulations, but he's also coming along in P8. So Connor sets the fastest lap of the race, so he's starting to show that he has the pace as well. He's coming to the party very late. He hasn't really shown anything of what we know of him so far in this race, but he's starting to want to join the party now when it matters. But ASY is holding a good defence at the moment, but it looks like Dusty's got this one in the bag as he just bides his time behind Klexi at the moment. He won the pre-season race, and he's against the person who won the first opening round in Bahrain. As we've got an incident in Sector 2, and that's Milix in the gravel. Yes, it spun round, but it's still in the points, so I'm presuming he'll just carry on, go for a fastest lap or something. And this is what happens when you have like a do or die move, and Dusty has a real opportunity. Klexi decides that he's not needing his ERS to defend with on this lap. He's got very good straight line speed as the Renault. And the longer he keeps him down, the better, because then medium tyres will run out eventually. That's why Dusty has to get it done very early. Like Connor's dropped off of ASY already. He's struggling now. So these hards will come back to him. As Legend is now trying to keep up with Connor. I wonder if Connor's made a mistake somewhere. Closest battle is with Tesco and then Lino's hurt. We've got Dusty and Klexi for P1. With 5 laps to go this Grand Prix. It's been a very interesting one, to be fair. I haven't felt like I'm going to fall asleep in this one. Been really, really close on pace. There's half a second between them. And Connor is definitely catching ASY, but Legend just, he fancies the podium. I'm not going to miss the lead battle. Don't cut away just yet, Nathan. But it just looks like he's got the straight line speed to cope at the moment. He's not using any ERS. But we've got a few more opportunities just yet. Using all the track. Trying his best. And Connor is just unable to get past ASY to join it. He's struggling, he's trying everything. He's doing a bit of a lawnmower there. Same with Legend, he's been able to keep up with these guys but not overtake. And Dusty has a real opportunity, 2/10. And while it doesn't look like he's going to be the moves, Connor got very close. Oh, he got squirmy on exit, and that's Legend, he's lost half front wing. Oh, he has. That's tragic for Legend and the McLaren. He was doing so well. And then Connor lost the rear end. And that's curtains for Legend. He'll have to try and hold on to it, but Lino's and so Tesco will be all over the rear of him. But we'll look at the penalty situation to see what's happening. Klexi, one warning. Dusty hasn't got a penalty. CSY, ASY doesn't. Connor, nothing. And then Lino's has one penalty. So there isn't a lot in it. As Dusty is giving it everything now. 3/10 of the gap going into turn 1. As ASY has picked up first penalty, he goes Dusty into turn 1 around the outside of Klexi. Will he be able to make it stick for the lead of the race? He's going to turn to the inside. Keeps his nose in and barges his way through. That's putting it polite. And gets the lead of the race. Klexi tried closing the door, but his nose was already alongside. Klexi tries bombing it around the outside, but that rarely works. He's going to do a switchback. And they're going to carry on going side by side here into the middle sector. And this could be end in tears. They're still going for it. But Dusty's got the grip. And now gets the inside. Klexi will wait for the straight. But Dusty gets the lead of this Grand Prix for the first time. And to say he wanted it was a bit of an understatement. As we head around this right-hander, he's going to have no grip and understeer like you would not believe. And I think Dusty's got this one. As much as Klexi would have to admit he's destroyed himself on stretch, but look at the straight line speed of this man. Don't write him off just yet. He's got some straight line speed. And a bit of overtake mode. You never know. It doesn't look close enough. Half a second isn't. But he'll keep himself within a shout. I mean, it's firm, very firm, but it'd be a bit rude. It was a bit rude. That's the way I'd use. But it was going to happen. You could see it happening. It was mounting. And it looks like Dusty now just rounding out these last 3 laps of this Grand Prix to take his first ever T1 win. I mean, T1 win. SY is for dear life. He's got a penalty though. I don't know if Connor's got anything. Don't think so. Got 2 warnings last few laps. SY has a penalty. Online also has a penalty. But he's not really in the frame at the moment. Legend is now down into P9. And that's where he's going to finish, to be honest. Unlucky. But with 3 laps to go this Grand Prix, Klexi is keeping within the DRS range. And mistakes like that from Dusty will not help him. ASY and Connor are going side by side into the final corner. Connor is trying everything he's got, but he's unable to do anything. He's tried taking the final corner by cutting it short. He's going to go to the outside, because ASY will defend inside for dear life. He's going to go right round the outside. And it looks like he's going to make it stick, is it? ASY's sliding like his teammate did. Hits the side pod like his teammate did. But holds it unlike his teammate did. And that could have been worse. That's what I always say. And Connor starts his championship challenge here by putting it on to P3. I'll have a look at last week's results actually. Connor got P2, Klexi 1. Yeah, and Dusty DNF'd. So this will be a good bounce back for him to put himself in the hunt. But Klexi will be one person that looks very difficult to beat at the moment. He's got some real form on him, but you can't put Connor out of the picture. You really can't. His had pace has just been stuck behind ASY all this time. But this race isn't over. Don't forget, Klexi can still do this. He's got very good straight line speed. He just struggles in the corners a bit with these older tyres. Them mediums aren't getting any better. The next couple of laps are going to be a bit of hell for Dusty. But he's got 1 more lap to hold on for. And that is it. We're on the final lap. What can Klexi do? We've got incident sector 3. ASY he's had an incident in the final corner. I think he lost the car. He must have done. So he wasn't battling anybody. And he's fell down to P6. Now Pro's online was at P4. With Kesko in P5 from Clarence with a bit of recovery there. Legend's gone for fastest lap but lost a position for it. But I'm going to go for the battle for the lead for this last lap. And these two have definitely been the class of the field today. Showed some real good pace and consistency. A good strategy decision has managed to get Dusty in the lead of this race. Obviously, I had to overtake the car that's right behind him right now with a bit of a barge, but it was all fun and fair game. As we head down the last straight for the final time, will Klexi be able to do anything with any ERS? Dusty has nothing in the tank, neither does Klexi. They're both running out of gas, heading down into the hairpin. Will he try something? He's going around the outside, so he's going to try something. And it doesn't look like it's going to work out unless Dusty's got a bad exit. It doesn't look like. It's been hard fought. But the racing point, unless he picks up a penalty, which he doesn't, takes the checkered flag. With Clexley P2, 3/10 the difference between them two. Connor P3. Kelso will be very, very happy with P4. Unknowners at P5, ASY P6, very disappointed with that in the end. Sorello P7, McRider P8 by a 10th. Millix and Legend are going for a bit of a dive bomb into the final corner. And it looks like Millix is going to get P10 and Legend P9, and obviously Dutch Hunter is disconnected. Wow, wow, wow. Very nice. So that has been the T1 Chinese Grand Prix. Driver of the day, Connor started P9, finished P3. He'd be very happy with his race in the end, and very nice podium as well. 3 different constructors. Had some really, really good battles. Probably some incidents, but I'll get to them later, I suppose. But yeah, I've got half an hour before the T2 race, which I'm going to commentate on. I'll message the people that wanted to join the league, and hopefully we can have a good T2 race as well. But that was a fantastic T1 race. Everyone kept within pace in the last few laps. Very close in the end, 18 seconds separating the top 8 in the end, which is quite nice. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I've been NAF37. I'll see you next week. Good night.